along, FEMA has purchased over 14.2 million meals ready to eat and heater meals to be delivered to Region 3 by October 1st. FEMA also purchased 22 million pouches of emergency water to be delivered by October 1st. FEMA also purchased ordered of $13.6 million of MREs and heater meals to be delivered to Austin by October 1st. 9-week training course for UN peacekeepers in CONUS, that's CONUS, to learn urban warfare, English, and U.S. weapon systems beginning the 4th week of July for 386,000 troops to be completed by October 1st. 11 million in antibiotics to be delivered to FEMA Region 3 by October 1st, as ordered by the CDC. It's a big day this October 1st. World Health Organization held second emergency meeting in its history to discuss the MERS coronavirus and determine a vaccine must be in place by October 1st. 2,800 MRAPs must be delivered to Department of Homeland Security by October 1st. No leave will be allowed for U.S. militaries from September 28th through November 5th. NORCOM, yearly training for civil unrest suspended until September 27th. To be performed in northeast coastal areas. Date for release of QE3 report moved to October 16th. All Department of Homeland Security agents must qualify with sidearm, shotgun, and AR-15 by September 28th. No mention of yearly less lethal qualifications, of course. Sporadic testing of GPS and communication satellites is coordinated for the first time with the testing date of September 29th. The President of the United States mandates that FEMA and the Department of Homeland Security concerning support for metropolitan communities dealing with the extreme climate change must be complete by October 1st. These mandates were issued during the last 3 weeks. Over 300 school systems in the U.S. have determined that they need 3-day kits for each school and 3-day kits for each student to take with them. All deliveries are scheduled for the month of September. All National Guard units will complete riot control and disaster assistance training during this year's annual 2-week training. All units must have their training complete by September 30th. Daily testing of the emergency broadcast system to begin on September 25th and run through October 2nd. And I can attest to this. I've been seeing it on the television every day. And it's actually before the 25th. They've been doing it all week. Today is September 25th, 2013, as I report this. Eastern-based Coast Guard units to perform massive group training, usually performed in the Gulf, in the Virginia and Delaware areas. This is a 10-day training mission to begin September 26th. So, training missions, war games, scenarios played out all in the same time frame, all in FEMA Region 3. And then when you take the fact that I got this article from Government Slaves, and there's the, actually I have a printout here, Government Slaves Info, .info. I went to this site, and here is what the page cover stated. My co-workers and I went to look back some 15-20 minutes after looking at this information, and the article was taken down. It was hacked and removed by the NSA, undoubtedly. And I know exactly what it's like to be hacked, especially by the COINTELPRO, who've hacked my YouTube account countless times. In fact, on one occasion, removed 108 videos stating that I did it. But that, of course, is another story. So what is going to happen? Only time will tell. What are they planning for? Well, looks to me like they're planning for some serious civil unrest, a disturbance in the food and water supply, and potentially martial law.
Eisenhower, for example, had virtually every agency and department of government earmarked with a specific place to go in the event of a nuclear war. The Federal Reserve had cash stockpiled outside the country to restart the economy. There were regulations, hundreds and hundreds of pages of regulations, for example, on how to deliver mail after a nuclear attack.
COGCON 1 is Continuity of Government Condition 1, and it's similar to the DEFCON system, or Defense Threat Condition. this would be the state that the government would be in the midst of an attack, and this would be what would trigger officials from government leaving Washington and going out to those secure sites and putting into effect the continuity of government plan.
I think there will be another attack, and the next time I think it's likely to be far deadlier than the last one. You can just imagine what would happen if somebody could smuggle a nuclear device, put it in a shipping container, and drive it down the Beltway outside Washington, D.C.
By the way, if that were to happen, do you see the government reconstituting? Because it would have to be military rule for a period of time, at least.
Well, there was, some years ago, a program called the Continuity of Government Program. It was part of the Cold War strategy that we pursued here, and it involved having a government in waiting, if you will, ready to go in the event of a nuclear attack on the United States, so that we could always maintain the constitutional-based governmental authority.
Colonel North, in your work at the NSC, were you not assigned at one time to work on plans for the continuity of government in the event of a major disaster? Mr. Chairman.
I believe that question touches upon a highly sensitive and classified area, so may I request that you not touch upon that, sir.
I was particularly concerned, Mr. Chairman, because I read in Miami papers and several others that there had been a plan developed by that same agency, a contingency plan in the event of emergency that would suspend the American Constitution, and I was deeply concerned about it and wondered if that was the area in which he had worked. I believe that it was,
May I most respectfully request that that matter not be touched upon at this stage. If we wish to get into this, I'm certain arrangements can be made for an executive session.
And tragically, the only member who got close was Jack Brooks, and he was stopped by the chairman.
I was part of that program for several years, and a lot of it, I'm sure, is probably still classified, but it was very, very important. And we operated and actually trained under circumstances of how would we go about providing for a government to survive if, we were having nuclear weapons from the Soviet Union falling all over the country.
As disturbing as this all is, ladies and gentlemen, the growth of activity in FEMA Region 3, all FEMA regions are amping up activity, and there are reports all over the country at this point in time, which is June 27th, 2014, that there are increases of militarization of police departments, integration with Homeland Security to keep us safe, and these vehicles being put into place across the country in all the major metropolitan areas and other key areas in these regions, these FEMA regions. We have been infiltrated and indoctrinated. The land of the free and home of the brave is turning into the land of the fee and the home of the slaves. Slaves who embrace their servitude. They love their servitude. And this is by design. Make no mistake about it, my friends. The enemy is among us. It is a domestic enemy working to destroy the Constitution by enforcing illegal actions, illegal wars, illegal laws, illegal taxation, and illegal regulations enforced by our evil and corrupt courts. We are manipulated and brainwashed by the television, cable, mobile, radio, print, advertising, and mass media to believe in slogans such as land of the free as our rights are slaughtered every day. Wake up, my friends. There isn't much time. Watch Truth Talk News live, weeknights, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on truthbroadcastnetwork.com. Subscribe to Freedom First Films and Truth Talk News Live on YouTube, where news the mainstream media ignores is the top story.